All right. What is going on, everybody? On YouTube, Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream from the Millennial Motivation Entrepreneur YouTube channel. First and foremost, if you're new to the channel, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below if you are interested in investing in the stock market, day trading, swing trading, options trading, futures trading, any type of trading, even Bitcoin, crypto, all that good stuff. If you're into just communicating, networking with a bunch of like-minded people that are looking to make money in the stock market by any means necessary, we'd love to have you here. We got over like 550, 560 of us here now, and we have a Discord group chat. That's down in the description box. There's about 60, 70 of us in there. Just love to see that growing day by day. So today's video, you guys know I've been hinting on that I've been kind of experimenting a little bit here and there with futures. Not with my own like personal money or anything like that. Just paper trading, and I just wanted to make a video because I know there's been a lot of people in general in our chat on YouTube in general and all over that are just interested in trading futures and just wondering maybe how they work. How does the movement work? How much money do you make per tick and all that? And I found a website actually. It's obviously CME Group. They're one of the most known for trading futures, I believe. It's like 90+% of futures contracts are actually traded through the CME Group. So they have tons of information on here, good educational stuff as well. I ran into this website a couple days ago, and they definitely have some good stuff on here. You can see right now I'm looking at, how's it going there, Josh? We're looking at the S&P mini futures, E-mini, which is /ES. You can see ticker symbol ES there. On TD Ameritrade, you'll want to put /ES. So pretty much it shows you everything you need to know. I mean, you can see, you can go look at corn, soybean, crude oil, whatever, the natural gas, E-mini futures. I mean, everything really is here that you need to know about. And if you just click on every single one, it'll show you all the information like trading hours, the contract months that they're like quarterly, monthly, weekly, like everything for like options, contracts, futures, all that good stuff. So one we'll be talking about the most is /ES today, which is again the S&P mini futures, S&P 500. And you can see, you can click on full contract specs, all that stuff. But pretty much we're just going to keep it a little bit short, sweet, and simple today because we're going to go over that one as well as crude oil. So every tick is essentially, the minimum tick is 0.25, meaning as this goes up 0.25, that counts as the minimum tick. And each tick is worth $12.50. So for every 0.25 of a movement within the S&P 500, your profit loss is going to be $12.50. So if from the time you purchased a contract of the futures, if it goes up, say, a whole point, which is 4 of these 0.25. So a whole point, how much would that be of profit? Like $50 before your fees and everything, whatnot. So a full tick, essentially, like a full point movement, is going to be $50, where one tick, the minimum tick, the one single 0.25 tick, $12.50. So you want to keep that in mind whenever you're trading /ES. So you can see, just based on today, say you bought at the quote unquote close yesterday, and say you purchased a short position and you held it all throughout the night and held it throughout today, that's 22.75 ticks. So you have your 4 movements, the 4.25s. So off of a 22.75 of a tick, or no, I'm not doing that right actually. So you have 4 ticks per movement. How's it going there, Charles? Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been a long time since you tuned into this stream. I'll just give you a hint on that real quick. Overall, we've just been trading a little bit on Robinhood. I really just started getting back into things on Robinhood, specifically over the last month or so. And pretty much since we started, we're up 24%. So not too bad overall. Can't complain about that. The last week really is where we've seen quite a bit of our movement. This right here, by the way, is not right. This was a glitch. After I purchased some options contracts. This stock I got for free because I referred somebody. But yeah, the last week and a half, we really started seeing some good results. trading some short-term SPY options, which you'll definitely want to check out the previous streams where I talk about, I think even in the title I mentioned SPY options, where I'm literally making 7 to 15% profit in a matter of a couple of minutes. So yeah, but right now we are talking about futures. I'm not specifically trading futures, I am paper trading them, but that's what we're talking about right now. So you're going to get 4 movements per every one, because like we mentioned, every 0.25. So you're going to want to do 4 times your 22. That's 88 overall. So 88 plus an additional, what, 0.75, that's 3. So plus 3 gives us 91. So you had 91 ticks overall. So say you had a short position, again, just to recap, say you had a short position from the quote-unquote close yesterday, and you held it for some reason all throughout the day, and you just happened to sell pretty much right at the close. Because we're still within the close, the market opens back up, as the CME group shows, at 5 p.m. Central Time. The maintenance period where the market is closed is from 4 p.m. Central Time to 5 p.m. Central Time. So it's pretty much 23 hours, I believe 6 days a week. So to get back to it, say you held it, that's 91 ticks total, and you multiply that times $12.50. So off of one futures contract, if you had shorted the market essentially since the close yesterday till now, you would have made over $1,100 worth of profit by shorting the market on that specific futures contract. Now, you're probably wondering, well, how much does it take to get into that futures contract? That's where there's a whole bunch of what I'm really still trying to figure out. Every broker has their own minimum like margin requirement from what I've been seeing. Like different, like Ninja Trader, it sounds like you have to have around 500, but we'll just stick with TD Ameritrade's for now. To see overall, shout out to Mike in our Discord group chat for mentioning this the other night to me. To know exactly how much you need, and pretty much anything you need to know about futures, you can just go over, so like where you type in whatever stock or ETF or futures that you're looking up, you click the arrow right there, you'll just go over to the futures tab, and you can see ES/ES, the S&P Mini 500 futures. You can see that tick size we talked about, 1250, and you need $6,600 minimum initial requirement. So for one futures contract, essentially you need $6,600 of buying power within your account to place a trade, like one single contract on the S&P. So you had 1,137 of profit divided by, say, again, your contract of $6,600. That's going to give you a roughly 17% profit on the day. That's before, obviously, your fees, commissions, all that stuff. And again, that varies from platform to platform. I'm currently looking at TradeStation for futures longer term whenever I decide to get into futures in the coming months. But so yeah, I mean, you would have made, if you just did this, if you didn't day trade it, like you kind of just held it for the whole day essentially, which in future videos and whatnot we'll get into why you shouldn't do that. But you would have made over 17% today alone. Now, obviously, there was a pretty big move in the market, so you wouldn't experience that on like a daily basis. But again, that's not necessarily, this is just for an example based on the overall movement today. So, let's see. I have absolutely no idea. Yeah, well, if you come back to the video later on, you'll hear quite a bit more because we got a lot still to get to. But so pretty much like, right now, I'm just going to hop into like what are the advantages and disadvantages of trading futures so far from what I've kind of gathered up. So pros, like we mentioned, at least with most of the futures like oil and oil, S&P 500 futures, natural gas, they're pretty much almost 24 hours a day. It's like 23 hours, 6 days a week type of thing, because you got to think futures market opens at 5 p.m. Central Time Sunday night, and then they close Friday evening. So you literally have about a day and a half where there's no trading. So pretty much you can trade overnight if you have some kind of overnight job or something where you don't really have to do a lot of work or something. You could trade by all means pretty much all throughout the night. that is a pretty good advantage. Or like if you have a job during the day where you can't necessarily trade as much when you're at work, you can come home, trade the futures throughout the evening if you wish. So that's number one. Number two, there's no PDT, no pattern day trading. So like say you had your account at, I don't know, let's say $15,000, because the PDT requirement is $25,000, right? So there's no pattern day, there's no PDT rule within trading the futures market. So say you had a $15,000 account and our initial requirement for the S&P mini futures is 6,600. You could trade, say, 2 contracts or something if you wish, whatever amount essentially. You could trade it pretty much over and over again, and you wouldn't get flagged as a pattern day trader. Obviously, it still takes quite a bit of more money. You're probably going to want to wait, at least in my opinion, till you're north of $10,000, $20,000 at the minimum before you even want to get into futures. Again, in my opinion, but you don't have to hit 25,000. I mean, there's tons of other futures you can trade. You can go through this on TD Ameritrade as well and just go through every different kind of future that's on here. You can see some of them you really don't need a lot of capital. Like I think this is the micro, is this the Australian US dollar future? I don't know a lot of these, but you can just go through here and see. I mean, a lot of them don't take a whole lot of money to really start trading, but again, you always don't want to like hop into something, learn it before you trade it, obviously. But yeah, no pattern day trading. So I mean, you could literally just trade essentially unlimited trades as if you had $25,000 trading stock and whatnot. Number 3 is that there's, from what I've heard, I haven't looked up exactly how many, like what the tax advantages are, but I've heard over and over again from all the research I've done, there's a ton of tax advantages for trading futures. I don't know about futures options. I would assume so compared to normal options, but there are a lot of tax advantages for trading futures. So that's another advantage. Another one, I believe there was another one, like a 4th or 5th one that I wanted to hit on. Another one is the amount of leverage you get, because a lot of people are thinking, well, $6,600, like where does that number come from exactly? Like how come they charge you like not charge you, but you have to have $6,600 in your account or whatever worth of buying power? Well, because this futures contract, how you do this math to figure out how much it's worth, the contract size is $50. So just you do the multiplication, $50 times whatever the price of the S&P 500 index is at the time. So right now it's 27.54.25. So let's just, to keep it simple, say 27.54. So you have to take that by 50, your $50. Oops, I did the wrong number. 27.54 times your $50. Wow, I hit it too many times. Too excited about futures apparently. Multiply that times your 50, and then there you go. So right now the futures the contract size is $137,700, but you're only having to put up $6,600 to trade it. So you're getting a ton of quote unquote leverage, because they're not making you put down this much money for a futures contract. So when you do that, say it's worth, let's just say it's 100, so you have to put your $6,600 in, but you divide it by the total contract worth, which is not 133, divided by the 137,000, what was it, 700? Like in this case, you're only having to put down right around 5%, quote unquote put down, like your down payment, so to speak. Your initial margin requirement is just around 5%. So I mean, you're getting essentially over a 20x leverage by trading futures. So leverage is really key when it comes to trading futures for sure. So those are the advantages in my opinion. Now, as for disadvantages, I mean, there aren't a lot really in my opinion, other than really it does take quite a bit of capital to get started. Like, I mean, we went over that there are certain futures that do not require a lot. I mean, this is the Eurodollar ETH futures. Only $200 required. 990 for Japanese yen. 148, we talked about that one earlier. I believe even there's silver. Here you go, gold, E-micro gold futures, 374. So I mean, there's a lot out there that doesn't take a lot of money, but I believe you're still going to have a minimum, I believe, of around $2,000 to maintain that margin account. So at the minimum, you're needing to start up with $2,000 pretty much, period. At least, again, we're referring to TD Ameritrade here. I believe that's their margin requirements. You have to have $2,000 in your margin account, if I recall. But overall, to trade futures the right way, it does take quite a bit of money up front. Like I said, I would suggest at the bare minimum $10,000 to $20,000 before hopping into futures, because like we said, if you're going to trade anything seriously, like /ES, we can take a look at /CL, which we'll talk about a little bit more here. It also takes over $4,000 worth of buying power. But again, you do get the ton of leverage. So I mean, even though you're having to have quite a bit of money into your account, you're gonna, like I said, no PDT. So once you have $10,000 to $20,000 in your account, you can literally pretty much trade limitless. You wouldn't say, I almost said limitlessly. You would trade pretty much with no boundaries. And oil, like I said, we'll talk about that a little bit here in a minute. I mean, you can literally just go in and out. Just these quick movements, you can make very good profit. Like we do with the SPY options. We get in, we get out. We get in, we get out. Just over and over and over. You can pretty much do that over and over and over with futures and not have to worry about your pattern day trade flag. So, in my opinion, there's very little disadvantages when it comes to trading futures. Another disadvantage I might say is that it can be very, very risky if you don't have a good risk tolerance, or you essentially don't know what you're doing, so to speak. It can be very risky. You can lose quite a bit of money very quickly, but overall, I mean, to me, the advantages over disadvantages, there's really no quote-unquote disadvantage other than the capital that you have to put up front. But like I said, I think once you get over 10,000, I wouldn't say it's a bad idea to consider trading futures. So I don't know if there's any way where you guys can see my past trades. I forget how you can pull up your past trades on the Thinkorswim platform on the laptop. But and then real quick with oil, before I get into just my trades recently, paper trades, of course. With futures, we'll look at oils, because oil is one I wanted to hit on as well, since obviously we talk a lot about oil here. So like I said, they have a lot of good information. This is just cmegroup.com. They have tons of good information when it comes to futures and whatnot. So your contract size is 1,000 barrels. Now this is another important thing that I meant to mention, but I never did. When you're trading these futures, you want to make sure that your contracts never expire. Because or not expire, but your contracts get to the last day, essentially. Because if you get to that last day and you don't sell, now TD Ameritrade won't let it happen. TD Ameritrade will sell it automatically, and I'm sure other platforms do as well, but there might be some platforms that don't automatically sell for you. And if not, you're going to be responsible for these, in oil's case, 1,000 barrels of oil. So it's not to say they're going to deliver it at your doorstep or anything like that, but they'll send you pretty much a statement saying, hey, your futures contract is up, you have these 1,000 barrels of oil waiting on you. And in most cases, even they're sitting on a ship somewhere out in the ocean, and you're pretty much having to pay a monthly fee, which sounds pretty hefty, to storage, to store these 1,000 barrels of oil. So you definitely don't want to get put in that situation. So I don't think anyone ever would. We're all here to trade stuff very, very quickly. So I don't think you would, but just always keep those dates in the back of your mind. So with oil, minimum tick, each tick is 1 cent. So for every cent that it moves, you're going to profit loss $10, which is, I actually kind of like it. I like the 1 cent. It's a lot more simple than /ES. ES is simple too once you actually start trading it, but when you're trying to actually explain it, it can get kind of difficult. So I like oil more too. They're both very, very liquid. That's another thing I would say is good about trading futures. Very liquid. You usually don't have much trouble getting filled, especially during the day, the actual day hours. Evening, overnight session could be slightly harder, but it's still very, very liquid throughout the day and throughout the night. So oil, for example, say you got in, say you start to catch it as it was falling right here at 56.55. Say you went ahead and placed a short because you turned bearish on oil. Like I probably would have somewhere right around here. I would say 56.55. I would have went ahead and placed a trade on this. So let's say you shorted it from 56.55 all the way down to where it started coming back up. Say you sold out at 56.45. So that was roughly what, a 10-cent move. That's $100 worth of profit in a matter of a few minutes of trading. Now again, the contract is going to cost you up front pretty much $4,300 of initial margin. So overall, I mean, you're not talking huge profits or anything from the actual trade that you're placing. $100 divided by, what was it, $42.90, I believe. You're talking a 2% return, but again, that's in a couple minutes, and the beauty of these, like I said, is you get to do this over and over and over. You can short it, then long it, short it, long it, just continue to play it as much as you want, because again, there's no pattern day trading. As long as you got the money in the account, the initial margin requirement to do whatever trade you want within here, you can literally trade limitless. So, I mean, like I said, I would rather get 2% every hour, like 2% an hour or something, than just do like 2% trade doing some options, or a 5% trade doing options, and then not even be able to trade for however many days because, well, I already used my 3-day trades. If I trade anymore, I'm going to get locked out of my account. So you just have to keep it all in perspective, because let's just play the short moves. Let's not even look at the longs, because there's a lot of little short moves here that we can keep track of. Let's just do 4 different shorts. So let's say right here, say you started shorting this at 56.65. Let's say you sold it as it started going back up at 56.60. That's $50 worth of profit. Let's say you started shorting it right here at 56.70. And then let's say you sold somewhere around 56.63. That's $70 worth of profit. Let's say you started selling at 56.65. Say you sold at 56. Again, another $100 profit right here. I mean, you can just see how these profits can start rolling very, very, very quickly in a matter of just a couple hours of trading. So, like I said, I mean, from the overall pluses and minuses, I think futures overall is the best way to trade, like long term in your overall trading career. I think futures is by far probably the best trading method, probably followed by options, and then probably followed closely by day trading, swing trading, stocks, because like I said, and then the tax advantages of futures as well. It's just almost a no-brainer in my opinion. I don't know why I have this study up right now, but I'll adjust that later. I'm still messing with my simulated trading platform. I just started messing around with this the other night. Like I said, I don't remember how I can get back to my previous trades. I thought there was a way you could pull them up down here, but I don't remember. Was it dashboard? No. Yeah, man, I forgot how you could get this pulled up on your actual desktop platform. But just to like put it in perspective, I started doing this like 2 nights ago. This will be my second night or third night now of trading futures options on the simulated trading platform of TD Ameritrade. This comes with Thinkorswim for anyone that's like new and wondering how I got this like simulated trading and whatnot. No, this is not like real. It's all fake. This comes with your TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform that you can get, and you can do it on your phone as well, which is what I tend to do. If I can get my paper trading account pulled up on my phone. So just to put it in perspective, I started messing around with /CS, /ES, the S&P 500 mini futures, and /CL, the crude oil futures. On the S&P 500, I did over almost $1,800 worth of profit over the last 2 days. And then in crude oil, my crude oil one is gone. I don't know if I can see my history on there, but that one was also somewhere around a little over like $1,200 or $1,400. So in literally 2 nights, we did like $3,000 worth of profit. Only had one red trade doing /CL, but overall, how's it going there, Trade Doc? But yeah, and I mean, like I said, that was just going in and out, in and out. There were times where I was trading like 5 contracts at a time, but I tried to keep it pretty realistic where I think I'll be starting out with futures. I was usually trading like 1 or 2 contracts, but there were times where just to kind of for fun, I would see the S&P 500 mini futures /ES. I saw that they would like take some massive dive, and then I would be like, okay, I'm going to go ahead. I mean, for evening hours trading, a massive dive, an evening trade dive is like something like this little move. I would see a move like this, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to buy 10 contracts. That's like $66,000 worth of contracts, but it would only take a slight move, and boom, you're up $125 or something like that off of just one tick. So, like I said, I mean, I'm very intrigued by the futures market, futures trading. I'm definitely going to keep learning, and anything that I learn along the way, I'll definitely be sure to upload more videos, lessons and whatnot, stuff that I'm learning along the way with trading futures on paper trading. And then obviously here, like I said, I'm hoping by the end of the year or earlier we might get to start trading some futures. We'll probably do so on the TradeStation platform. If you don't know what that is, it's a pretty cool platform that I just ran into the other day, and I think a few of you guys also trade on TradeStation. And there's Ninja, I think Ninja Trade is one as well, or something like that. Trading Ninja Trade, something like that. That's another platform you can trade futures on. There's tons of good platforms out there anymore to trade futures and stuff on. It's just finding the one that works best for you. But yeah, very intrigued overall. Very excited to start trading these with real money in the coming months over the next year or so. You trade on Ninja, awesome. Yeah, I know there's either people that trade on Ninja or people that trade on TradeStation. Like, each one thinks it's better. I haven't looked at Ninja yet, but I really did like TradeStation's platform. I did go ahead and get signed up just so I would already be fast forward through that process. But overall, for everyone that's tuning in that usually likes to see my account performance, today all we did was we did sell the Tesla shares. We sold them at like 283. It's not even showing up here right now. It was like 283.10 or something like that. So we did have our first loss of since I think early February. First loss in a long time, actually. I don't remember when exactly, but first slight loss. We took roughly a $3 per share loss, so a little $6 loss, but I was just ready to, like I said, I'm ready to put that money back to work. I can make that loss up literally in a couple good contracts of SPY trades. So tomorrow we're going to have all of our funds available, other than we're holding this share because Robinhood won't let me sell it, I don't think, till tomorrow or Monday. It's just my free stock that I got from referring one of my coworkers to Robinhood. So we'll have all of our funds available. Not going to use it all on one trade, obviously that's ridiculous, but probably looking at using somewhere around a $1,300 position or so. Futures market just opened back up, but $1,300 position, target profit somewhere around 7% again tomorrow on a SPY option trade. So hopefully I'll make somewhere around $80 to $100 tomorrow. But like I said, you can have your target, but never ever be afraid to take profit off the table. I'd rather take $40 profit and then be done trading for the day than have to worry about my trade going from red to green. Or, I mean, I'd love it to go red to green, but for it to go from green to red. So target profit tomorrow is going to be somewhere around $80 to $100. But like I said, if or when we're up at all, I will not hesitate to take that profit off the table. But other than that, yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy the stream. If you did, definitely make sure to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate that. And if you are new to the channel, like I said, we'd love to have you here. Definitely consider hitting the subscribe button below and checking out our Discord group chat. I don't charge for that or anything like that whatsoever. It's super easy to sign up. If you don't know what Discord is, it's super easy. If you just click the link, I believe it'll take you to the app to download, and then from there you just join the group. So we have over 60, close to 70 members in there now. It's just awesome to see this community growing day by day. But other than that, hopefully you guys have a good night. Hopefully you guys did stay green today. I'd love to hear your trades in the comments after this video uploads, or like I said, in our Discord group chat. I'd love to chat with you there about trading as well. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there, making your profits, covering your profits, and achieving your financial freedom in 2019 and beyond. You do deserve it this year. Go get it, guys. But until next time, have a good night, everybody.